I'm excited, brother. I'm excited. We got Frank the Barber's shop over here in Orlando. Let me see if I find it. That we're visiting today. And I know Frank for some time now. And he got some names in there that I've seen at battles and seminars and shows. And my man Miami Barber, got Edwin in there. So he got a couple cats in there that I'm familiar with. But this is exciting for me because I get to sit down and talk to these guys. I haven't seen some of them since before the pandemic. And I've seen some of these guys working at other people's shops, and now being owners themselves is a really dope thing. You know, it shows growth, it shows evolution. So to be able to sit down with these guys, I think we found it, and have these sort of shop talk conversations and see where they're at today, how much they've grown, and what they plan on doing with the future from here is a really exciting thing. I mean, this is dope, you know. Some of these guys, like I said, I've known them from the come up, and now they're doing big things in the industry, got their own shows and seminars, and, you know, the student becomes a teacher, you know. So some of these guys, even Frank, I remember him, you know, at one of my seminars, you know what I mean? And now he's doing huge things all over the world. That's how we found it. Out here in beautiful sunny Florida. I love Florida, man. I love Florida. I love Orlando too. I can't wait to see what the shop looks like. I've seen it in pictures. I've seen it on Instagram, Facebook, but I haven't seen it in person. So I'm really excited to see what this thing really looks like. Let's go. Follow me. Oh, man. Welcome, brother. Hey.
What's up, boy?
Beautiful shop.
Chico boom.
Hey. How you doing, man? Chico boom, bro. I haven't seen you since before the pandemic. Frank, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Junto con la pinta.
Todo bien. Yes,
Oh, papi.
How are you, bro?
Nice, bro.
Beautiful. Thank you guys for having me, man.
Yeah. At the beach, cut your hair.
It was my new favorite product. Product of the day, product of the week, product of the month, product of the year. Hey, welcome to Team Rolda Shoptalk. It's your host, Chico Boom, coming to you live right here in Orlando, Florida. We at Shift Hair Studio, and we got my man, Frank the Barber, the owner, man. Frank, how you doing, brother?
I'm blessed, man. Thank God. It's an honor to have you guys here with me today.
Yes.
Thank you for having us, bro. Thank you
for having us. We got Mohashie in the house, Miami Barber Mo. We got Jairo out here in the building. We got Edwin the Barber. So I'm just blessed to be amongst you guys, man. It's a lot of talent. I've seen you guys grow in the industry. We all, you know, kind of grew together, you know, and seeing you guys here today, you know. And Frank, I was just talking about this in the car. I remember you at one of my first seminars, and you were there, and to see you out here blessing these stages worldwide, you're working with major companies, you got your own shop, you were working for somebody, now you created your own lane, doing your own thing, and I just gotta applaud that because you're doing a real big, brother. You know what I mean? Like, to see you out there on TV and magazines, you got your own clipper. Like, you know what I mean? That's big. That's like Michael Jordan getting signed to Nike. You know what I mean? So that's big. So I wanted to come together with you guys and have this sort of you know, shop talk to really motivate and inspire not just barbers that are in the industry right now, but barbers that might be in the come up or people that might want to look into being a barber. You know, this is a very interesting hidden culture. You know, and a lot of people don't understand this culture. So I want you guys to give a little insight on what it is to be a barber, you know, and kind of like, you know, go back and forth with you guys and see your guys' come up. Because I know every one of you got a good story of success. So I want to help other people elevate that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start with myself. I'm a 20-year veteran barber. Okay, I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an educator. I'm an international platform artist. I've been everywhere from Asia to Europe to South America, and I'm working with 3 major companies right now, one of them being Rolda. I love Rolda. Been a great company working with them, from the owners to the staff to the product, the quality. So I'm pretty sure each and every one of you have used Rolda as you guys are ambassadors and whatnot. But that's where I'm at today. I'm looking at possibility of exiting the barber game and, you know, shifting my attention to more speaking and education and things of that nature, but continue to work with these great brands. So, Frank, how did you get started?
Yeah, my story is kind of unique. Probably not different from any other one of you guys out there, starting in the garage, but I didn't choose to be a barber. It was something that came to me. It was one of those things where I was on the end of the road. I had my son, I had my daughter at the time. I was an electrician, lost my job, and started cutting out of the garage, like a lot of you guys that are watching right now. So just know that there's always a way. You start in the garage and just keep going. Just got to be consistent. Started there and then left there because I didn't know you had to have a license or anything. State board came to the house. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just cutting friends. Forced myself to go to school to do that and end up managing a shop. I went right from the house to managing a shop, going and pursuing a career. I picked up a Solid Gold magazine. I said, this
Solid Gold, those are throwbacks right there, man. That was like the first, legit, barber magazine, you know what I'm saying? Solid Gold.
Solid Gold made me come to America.
Yeah, right. I picked up a Solid Gold magazine. I seen it and I was like, well, somebody got their hair cut in there. I want to get my hair cut in there. Small little vision. I never got my hair cut in there, but I knew that as long as I kept moving, I would see results. So really, starting off there and never gave up. And one time I went back into doing AC and but that's something that nobody ever knew. I kind of gave up, it's people have a misconception of the barber industry. They think it's a celebrity thing. They think it's easy. They think it's this, and it's really not. You're more of a servant. Right?
Work,
and you got to work hard. You got to attend other people. Most of the people you ask is, I'm getting into this career because I'm going to be my own boss. And I'm sorry to hear that, but everybody that walks in the door is your boss, and you got to do stuff. They don't walk in and you just do whatever you want with them. Edwin, de verdad que es lo mismo, lo que es siendo tu propio jefe, vamos a decir, siendo dueño de una barbería, que tú has recortado en otra barbería también, pero tú vienes y tú dices, un barbero que va a empezar, que dice, yo voy a ser mi propio dueño. ¿Qué tú le dices a eso? Porque de verdad para mí, tú eres dueño porque estás pagando renta, pero la responsabilidad de hacer eso.
Mira, ese tema es bien complejo. Muchas personas dicen, no, yo soy mi propio dueño porque yo tengo mi área rentada. Yo por lo menos soy uno de los barberos que digo, sí, él tiene su área rentada, pero realmente él se tiene que regir por unas reglas que hay dentro del barbershop. Porque antes de él rentar esa renta, el dueño de la barbería tuvo que pasar por un sinnúmero de situaciones para poder lograr lo que es la barbería. En el caso de lo que es Black Sheep Parlor, una barbería excelente, belleza. ¿Quién no quisiera trabajar en una barbería así? ¿Quién no le quiere añadir valor al trabajo? Todo el mundo queremos añadir valor al trabajo, pero nadie quiere pasar por la responsabilidad de construir un negocio. Yo soy seguidor, chicos, de esa barbería cuando estaba en cemento. Yo vi cómo él sacrificó y construyó. O sea, al igual que seguidor tuyo, Frank, que era una inspiración para muchos de nosotros. Eres uno de los barberos que nos llevó a hacer lo que somos hoy día, que te vimos en las redes sociales. Miami Barber. He killed it. La bestia.
Edwin, ¿y cómo fue que tú empezaste?
Mira, yo comencé a los 15 años de edad. Un día me preguntaron que qué deseaba hacer en mi vida y yo no tenía definido qué yo quería hacer. Yo era un muchachito de estos que jugaba mucho PlayStation, baloncesto y bien competitivo. Y veo al que me recortaba, que me hacía cortes de cabello, le pregunto, si yo estudio barbería, ¿tú me das trabajo? Me dijo que sí. Pero ahí está el detalle, el pequeño detalle. Nunca llegué a trabajar con él. Porque el mundo de la barbería es tan grande, muchachos, que cuando comencé, nunca tuve un stop. Todo fue en ascenso, todo fue hacia arriba. ¿Cómo tú comenzaste en la barbería, Jairo?
Padre, mira, yo te puedo decir que yo empecé a los 13 años de edad. Empecé en un residencial público. Para mí fue bien difícil empezar, honestamente, porque primeramente mi familia, pues lógicamente todas trabajaban en droga, ¿me entiendes? Y yo pues era como el joven ejemplar, aún siendo de la familia mal mirada en el residencial público. Y yo empecé en las escaleras de mi vecindad. Yo usaba una capa, una cortina de baño de capa, un cepillo de dientes para hacer el corte, una navaja de afeitar para hacer el fade.
¿Esto fue en Puerto Rico?
Sí, en Puerto Rico.
¿En qué parte?
En Juana de Puerto Rico. Juana de Puerto Rico. Y eso era usando Eraser, esas máquinas que se calentaban de Walmart, y ese sol bien caliente, que a los 10 minutos tú te le pegabas. Pero así fue que empecé y verdaderamente me inspiró, ya que fui también huérfano de padre a los 8 años. Y eso pues seguí creciendo en base a mi familia, no juzgo a mi familia, pero también me miraba en el espejo y decía, yo no puedo ser así, yo tengo que cambiar este núcleo y tengo que romper esa cadena para yo ser diferente. Hoy en día, gracias al Señor, soy el sustento de ellos. ¿Sabes? Dios siempre saca uno para ser ejemplo entre todos los demás.
Algo que tenemos todos los 5 en común, que somos boricuas, ¿verdad? Somos puertorriqueños. Y Edwin, tú eres de Puerto Rico también, ¿verdad? ¿En qué parte de Puerto Rico?
Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico, área metropolitana.
Nice. Y Frank, tú te criaste aquí en Orlando, ¿no?
Yo nací en Nueva York.
En Nueva York.
Y después vine para aquí en Orlando. Pero nosotros somos de Bayamón, de Santa Bonita.
Área metropolitana.
Nice. Bueno, por parte de mi papá somos de Vieques, por parte de mi mamá somos de Río Piedra. Y Mohashie.
Yo soy puertorriqueño, but I was born and raised in St. Croix, Virgin Islands.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
St. Croix. Tell us a little bit about that.
Orgánico,
How was that, a Puerto Rican living in St. Croix?
Yeah, I want to know how's barbering out there, because that's
for real.
that sounds interesting.
You know, the barbering down there was like very similar in culture to like how it was in America. You know, the barbershops down there have they look a lot like Frank's barbershop. It has a lot of rustic, old school, real barber memorabilia type stuff. Because we don't get a lot of new stuff down there. We still got old chairs, old cars. We just redo everything to make it look new. Kind of like third world countries. So the barbering culture, yeah. So we followed a lot of the trends like anybody else. What we see on TV. So we see a haircut on TV. That must be in style. So that's what we do, So we stayed up to date with barbering in that aspect, But now with social media, everybody's like up to par. So the barbers down there are doing everything. They have all the latest and greatest. They have the best products. Everybody's rolled it out in the shop. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's, JRL'd out, Babyliss out. They got all the top clippers.
So very Americanized. Okay.
Yeah. It's very modern now.
Right.
Very modern. Barbers are shooting videos just like the ones we shoot. They got top of the line cameras, so they're up to date. You know what I'm saying? As far as like growing up on the island, I mean, it's island living, man. What can I say? It's like nothing better. Oh yeah. I had a really good childhood.
So I mean, St. Croix is a small island.
Yeah.
So when you tell me St. Croix, and you tell me like looking at you, with the big organic beard and everything like that. So when I hear St. Croix and Mohashie out there and say, I'm thinking of you running around barefoot with
yeah.
At the beach, cutting hair.
It was island life.
Yeah,
it was island life, bro. We grew up. I mean, old ass bicycles. Barefoot, torn up clothes. I mean, we weren't rich. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But life was good.
Right.
You don't. When you grow up without that stuff, you don't even realize like you need it or miss it, or do you even need it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how long you been cutting now?
I mean, like you, bro. I've been cutting 20 years.
Tell me a little bit about your father and how that was.
My dad.
When you told him you wanted to be a barber.
You know what? One thing I can say, man, I love my parents so much because how I started was because of my dad. My dad was not a barber. He was far from it. My dad actually trained racehorses for a living. Oh. That's what he did. And one day I came home from school. I was in about 8th grade. And my mom was trying to cut my dad's hair with some raggedy clippers. But she was scared of the clippers because they were so loud. And my dad was like, puñeta, córtame el pelo. and I was like, hey, I'll do it. My mom's like, hey, toma. And she went inside para cocinar los habichuelos. And yo me quedé ahí, and I grabbed the clippers and I started cutting, and then my dad said, let me go look at it. And he went inside and he came back and he's like, yeah, man, he's like, that looked good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted.
Nice.
And that feeling that he gave me of letting me know that I made him feel good by making him look better, I wanted that feeling all the time.
But isn't that why we become like
yeah.
Feeling?
Isn't that feeling more better than the money?
Hey,
right?
cuando comencé tuve una anécdota. Yo ya yo creía que sabía cortar cabello cuando me matriculé en la escuela. So, yo filmé el papel de la escuela, que iba a empezar la escuela de barbería, y había una máquina de cortar en mi casa. Entonces esa máquina yo no me daba cuenta que no tenía para subir y bajar.
Ah,
No tenía level.
Era de Walmart.
Oye, estamos
¿Qué
hablando de
vecino?
marca. ¿Qué marca fue?
I don't know,
No.
bro. I don't know. El chiste.
Está todo el mundo. Yo tenía la máquina dura, una caliente. No, pero no marca, no tenía marca.
Mira, el chiste no es ese, el chiste es que le digo al vecino del frente de la puerta, vivía un residencial de 15 pisos. Le digo, oye, voy a estudiar barbería, vamos a recortarte. Faltaba un mes para comenzar las clases. Cuando le pongo el peine con lacero y veo que eso no tiene nivel, ¿y ahora qué hago? Ese muchacho se quedó con lacero porque no pudo hacer más nada. Cero hasta aquí y aquí yo no sé un peine que tenía. Y el peine iba en degradación, decía left and right.
Yo cogía la cuchilla y la subía y la bajaba con los tornillos. Yo cogía, lo subía un poquito y después lo putía para atrás y eso era el lero mío.
Qué pena, yo no sabía ni siquiera coger la máquina.
Hey Frank, so you grew up, you were born in New York. So how long were you up there till you moved down here?
I was about 6 years old before I came over here.
Nice.
And then, my father, it was out of California or it was out of Florida. And my dad was like, we ain't doing earthquakes and stuff.
Nah.
We deal with the lightning and we'll deal with the thunderstorms and we'll deal with the hurricanes. But he ended up bringing me out here to give me a better life. He grew up in New York, LES. My mom was from Brooklyn. And back then, it wasn't the greatest, so they wanted to give me Mickey Mouse.
Right.
So I've been out here. I love it. I really do. I can't see living it.
Isn't that why most New Yorkers come down here for Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse and palm trees.
Mickey Mouse.
But in this industry, you're not cutting Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right. It's funny because I went to Disney World a few years back, and I remember walking in there, and as soon as you walk in, they have a barbershop there. Isn't it interesting that if you ever pay attention to a lot of movies, they always have a barbershop scene?
it's classic.
Like, you're talking about mafia movies, la película de mafioso, de Godfather, tú sabes, la música antigua, la película antigua, siempre hay un scene de barbería.
Pues hasta los muñequitos.
Coming to America.
No,
You
Coming to America.
No, but
And you're coming to America.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
Los muñequitos, so.
So, barbershop,
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse, I remember, him, in the barbershop, shaving up somebody, Popeye and Pluto,
Bart Simpson.
Like Bart Simpson.
Tasmanian
There's always
Devil.
a barbershop scene, but we don't, we notice it as barbers, cuando estamos viendo la película, nosotros damos la cuenta, pero mucha gente no, luego no son barberos. But we acknowledge it because we see it, and even there might be a little scene that they're just walking by and they have a little barber pole. And like that, we know what that stands for, so we know. But it's crazy how barbering is the centerpiece for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that it starts from the crown and works its way down. You can't do fashion without hair. You can't do television without hair. You
Correct.
can't do music. La música no se puede hacer sin el pelo.
No.
Todo empieza con el pelo. Everything is based around hair. And the conversations that are had behind the chair are very unique. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how we can connect with people and grow with people through a pair of clippers. So when you was a little kid and you were cutting your dad's hair, that fulfillment that you had, that you didn't know that was going to be the fulfillment that drove you 20 years to be where you're at today. And I've never seen anyone, including myself, I put you before me, that takes care of their shop the way Mo takes care of his shop. Este tipo siempre está buscando qué cositas arreglar en su barbería. Nunca conocí una persona así que siempre está arriba de la barbería. Siempre la tiene bien nítida, bien limpiecita. Siempre está arreglando algo. Y yo soy una persona bien limpia. La barbería mía siempre se mantiene limpia. Pero Mo, I just got to give you credit for being the handyman. Like, this is Bob Villa. You remember the show Bob Villa? You know what I mean? Like, this is him. Like, he builds anything. And that fulfillment.
I didn't tell you he was from St. Croix?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. but like I saw the building of fence. I remember like during quarantine, watching videos of him. It's just entertainment. So, but that drive comes from that fulfillment that you get after the fact, the finishing product.
Yeah.
El producto al final que nosotros vemos que nos da esa motivación, ese empujo para seguir haciendo lo que estamos haciendo, 10 años después, 15 años después, 20 años después. And I think it's a beautiful thing, and a lot of people don't understand that fulfillment. And it goes back to what you're saying about being a servant. and I'm reading a book right now. It's called The Go-Giver, and it says that the more that you serve people, the more successful you become. And I think that each and every one of here can say that we've reached the level of success that we've reached because we were servants first. You know, even in the Bible, you talk about, you know, Jesus and getting down and washing his servants' feet. You know what I mean? And he's, you know, by far, you don't remember nobody else's name, but you remember his name. You know what I mean? But people are going to remember each and every one of you because you're servants. I'm a servant. I take care of the people. And I think a lot of young barbers don't realize that. I think that los barberos nuevos que están entrando ahora mismo a esta industria, they don't know what it is to be a servant first. I think ellos están buscando algo diferente. Nosotros estamos buscando algo totalmente diferente de lo que están buscando hoy en día. Para mí ellos están buscando la fama, the clout. You know, they want
they want the instant gratuity.
Right.
They want the instant gratuity.
Right.
Man, look, I call it microwave dinners. Look,
Right.
1 minute,
Right.
nothing good comes out of that.
Nothing good.
Es sumamente fácil, lo ven fácil, por el camino que nosotros pasamos para lograr todo lo que hemos logrado a estos momentos. 10 años, 20 años de carrera, 15 años de carrera, 20 años de carrera cada uno. 11. Basically, bro. So, todo el mundo dice, es fácil. No, no fue fácil. Es que ya el camino está recorrido. Es mucho más fácil hacerlo de esta manera.
Ahora es más fácil.
Sí.
Why? Los redes sociales. Los
Facebook,
redes sociales.
No.
Yo tenía que pasar flyer. Yo tenía que dar tarjeta. Ahora sube un post, taquea aquí, vas para allá y tú puedes conectar al que está ahí, aquí.
Easy. $10 en promoción y te ve toda una milla, 2 millas.
¿Viste?
When I started, if I wanted to learn how to cut with scissors, I had to go sit with a barber who specialized in scissor cuts and ask him if I could shadow him. Ask him about what he's doing, why he's holding his fingers like this. You know, I asked him about his technique.
But isn't that what every great apprentice does? When you want to become something, you have to be an apprentice first, and then you go on to being a master.
You look for the best and you train them.
But these guys don't even want to be apprentices.
See, the difference with me, that's smart. I didn't get that. Because when I first started cutting hair, I was in the garage. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just cutting my son. So when I did it, I started cutting kids. I went to his elementary school. Kids, you give them a little mohawk, spray a little color in it. Back then it was black ice.
Black eyes.
I didn't cut no adults, just kids.
Right.
That's it. When the adult first came in, oh my God, it was like a triangle beard. I didn't know what I was doing. I would go to the bathroom, look at YouTube because it was at the house.
Right.
But it was one of those things when I started doing shears, I just did it. I just, I would say you fake it till you make it. And that's basically what I did. If I had to buy an MCN bag so I look and fit into a certain position, I can position myself for success. Now I can talk around that people where I can make more money. Then that's what I was going to do. That was my investment. Not that I wanted to look flashy, but that I wanted to be around the people that were flashy because that was going to be able to make me be in their position one day. Right. But when I started doing shears, I was messing up hair, bro. You know, I figured the best way to learn is to mess it up. I mean, you just throw some gel and go, you know, them comb overs, and you just go and just flick them right over. You can't see nothing as long as it wasn't connected here. And then, you know, as you go, you better yourself. I feel like repetition and continued repetition will get you to perfection.
Y ahora mismo toda la barbería ha cambiado, porque si tú vienes a ver, ya no solamente un poquito de gel y seguir caminando, no, el corte ya lleva lo
volumen,
crema de afeitado, hairspray, sculpting spray para hacer elevados de peinado, pomade.
And that's where social media helps and hurts, because now clients look for the above and beyond.
Correct.
Clients want volume.
Correct.
You know, clients want, you know, the best product.
Oh, that's possible? I can look like that? Can you do this?
Yeah,
right,
you know. So a client comes in your shop and they sit down, now they're expecting what they see on social media out of you.
Alright, so let me touch on that. Let me flip it around a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel? ¿Cómo se sienten ustedes de los clientes que vienen a la barbería con un retrato de Instagram y el modelo o la persona de la foto lo que tiene es una libra de pintura y tú sabes, y están pidiendo lo más y quieren pagar lo menos. You know what I mean? How y'all feel about that?
A principio yo les decía, sí, yo puedo hacerlo.
Sí.
Ya no, ya yo les desmiento. Yo le digo, papi, eso tú no vas a quedar nunca así. Eso es Photoshop.
Photoshop y
Eso es
todo.
Photoshop. ¿Por qué? Porque tenía que pasar 2 horas encima de ese cliente para hacerlo lo más limpio posible y todavía te decían, no quedó igual. So, yo prefiero decirle la verdad. Yo le digo, eso no te va a quedar así, eso tú, y le abro la foto completa, se la digo, y tú esto es blurry, eso es con el dedo y esta aplicación le enseño. Eso no es así,
eso no es así.
eso no existe.
Yeah, 'cause I've had
Es que
that.
hoy en día todo se hace más fácil. Antes era bien difícil tú poder manipular. Primeramente antes tú tenías que salir a buscar al cliente, ahora el cliente llega a ti a través de una aplicación.
Yeah.
Es mucho más fácil. Fuera de eso, antes tú tenías que verdaderamente hacer lo que tú podías hacer con lo que tenías. O sea, no era ahora que te metes a Amazon, mandas a buscar los productos y llegas allá. Antes no había tutorial. Ahora hay tutoriales. Tú hasta durmiendo coges clases. ¿Me entiendes?
Yeah, because remember, there was a time 5 years ago when you couldn't write a barber on Instagram and ask him how he made that hairline sharp. They wouldn't tell you.
Right.
Now everybody's proud to show you.
Right.
You
Yo
know?
conozco barberos que se han hecho por las redes y no han estudiado, cogiendo tutoriales.
Sí, yo conozco.
Y no está mal que tú quieras crecer, pero verdaderamente muchos quieren ser grandes y ven una persona en la red y dicen, yo quiero ser como él. Pero para llegar ahí tienes que verdaderamente tú primero ser grande internamente.
Pero ahora entra la era de la educación.
Sí.
Ahora entra la era de los seminaristas.
Sí, ahora
entra
sí,
entra la era de cómo educarte cada vez mejor como persona. Porque no solamente un barbero debe educarse de técnica, un barbero debe educarse financieramente.
Eso es verdad.
¿Ok? Aquí somos 5 barberos que yo creo que financieramente cada uno ha cogido algún tipo de educación. Porque si no, hoy día no pudiéramos crear nuestras propias empresas. ¿Correcto, Frank?
Correcto.
Correcto.
Right, and we've done those. We've done seminars where we talked about, finances, and my famous one, Mo, $200 a week, $200 a week, and that's how I started. I started like that. That was my thing. Nobody gave me that financial education. I got out of prison, and I was like, what am I gonna do now? I'm dead broke. I got kids. They're waiting for me. They like the little birds in the nest, and they're like, feed me. I gotta go and get the worms. You know what I mean? Where do I get those worms from? But then I made $300 my first day. And then I put 200 away, and then I kept 100 as my allowance, and I kept doing that. But that was my own education, And when I reached, 2.5 years, and I had $25,000 in my bank account 2.5 years after being out of prison. And saying, I'm going to go open up a barbershop now. But that was me teaching myself. Now we have people teaching, that weren't teaching back then. Nobody was teaching me. I didn't know, 11 years ago who Warren Buffett was. I had to read on that, But it's that mindset. And some people, don't have, that mindset yet. So even though we offering them that much education, hey, hay una clase este día, esta fecha, hay muchos que no tienen
Es que yo digo, ¿quieren hacer educación por ganarse más chavo o quieren hacer educación para ayudar a otros? Esa es la diferencia. Y, la pregunta por todo, porque todo el mundo aquí hace educación, es cómo yo me meto en una tarima, cómo yo me pongo aquí, cómo yo me hago esto. Pues de verdad, cuando yo pensé con la compañía que yo trabajo por 6 años ya, cuando yo di mi primer clase, ahí fue que yo tenía que verme en el espejo y decir, wow, yo no sé lo que estoy haciendo. Y no que no sabía recortar, pero lo paso. Porque hoy en día todavía veo el tipo que está metido acá y lleva la tamilla y está cool y chilling y todo el mundo, wow. Y después yo paso el 2 hasta acá. Pero haciendo clases, y tú lo sabes también, más íntima, right? Que te hacen preguntas, porque en la tamina no te pueden hacer preguntas. Te preguntan, ¿y por qué pasa el número 2 hasta acá? Y yo lo paso porque es más fácil, es un costumbre mío. Todo tiene un paso. So, el número 2 va hasta aquí porque me deja oscuro, y lo dejo aquí. So, where you go at and you start educating is, you go from the barbershop, and every day that you're working, you should be talking to yourself, educating your clients. One thing traveling I've learned going to stylists, and I've seen Booms do it a lot, right? We go to a lot and we educate a lot of stylists, right? We've educated barbers. Barber classes are completely different because when you do classes, you have to understand the demographic that's in there, how long they've been doing it. You can't go teach somebody that's been doing this for 16 years how to cut a haircut. You go to share your techniques. You don't go to teach. We go to share. But where that first comes out, and this goes for anybody, if you guys are watching that are looking to be an educator, it goes with the shop. There's always one person in the shop that'll leave them boinas. There's always one person in the shop that doesn't know how to do something. It makes you look bad because that person works there. Educate him, lift him up. You know, when we first started, we had Steve. That was my little brother. He's not my blood brother, but I called him my little brother. We worked hard, and I take no credit for him at all. He's done everything and been great and successful. He's got a shop right around the corner fair, and I love him to death. But it was my thing to be a role model to him, to be an educator, help him out. At the same time, he helped me out with the younger industry. He was the first one to go Orlando Premiere that we had to go sneak in the back because his boy would open the door. We never paid for it. We couldn't afford it, but we was there. But if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't do that. And if it wasn't for me, then he wouldn't. It's hand in hand. Education comes within the shop, helping others, and then not only that, educating your clients. What are you putting in your client's hair? Are you damaging your client's hair? I mean, really, if you're putting a product in your client's hair and the longevity here, right, it's cutting hair. Queremos recortar el pelo para el tiempo, right? Queremos clientes más de 10 años, 12 años, y le estamos poniendo producto basura.
Que le está matando el
Le
pelo.
está matando pelo. Si no tiene pelo, mira, quítate la ropa.
Espérate. Es que todos somos barberos.
No,
y todos somos calvos. Pero yo nunca he visto a Jairo sin
No,
Una pregunta. ¿Cuántas pares de gorra tú usas a la semana?
En verdad, la maleta ahora mismo ando con 3.
¿Viste?
¿Y cuántos días te quedas en Orlando?
No voy mañana. Me quedo 3 días porque eso supo.
No, compra uno, mira, yo se lo voy a comprar, no, compramos.
No, Fran me presta, Fran.
Quiero preguntarle a ustedes,
No me lo quito.
¿cuál ha sido el momento más feliz para ustedes haciendo lo que están haciendo aquí, tú sabes, trabajando como un barbero? ¿Cuál ha sido el momento más feliz de ustedes?
El momento más feliz es cada vez que termino una clase y veo la satisfacción personal de las personas que estoy ayudando el día a día a crecer financieramente o educarlas y emocionalmente llegan a su casa con un mejor cambio. Eso me llena mucho, pero la satisfacción más grande que yo he tenido fue cuando fui a Latinoamérica. Ver personas de bajos recursos viajar 3, 4, 16 horas para verte, educarse y luego darte las gracias porque gracias a ti o gracias a tus consejos cambiaron su vida, su manera de pensar. Esas son las cositas que a mí me llenan mucho de gracia.
Todo el mundo aquí ha estado en esta posición que están trabajando duro y siguen y siguen y siguen y siguen y están y en one time you get to peek to the hole, you go, yeah, well, that's nice over there, y nadie te saca de la caja, right?
Wow.
So cuando esa puerta se abre and I now I have the opportunity. I mean, bro, like I went to that battle yesterday and I have not yet to today, since my trimmer dropped, been to a store to actually sit in the store. So when I walk through, when I look and I see my trimmer there, I want to cry.
Wow.
But the most satisfying thing about that is not that I look at myself and say, yo, I'm on a box, yeah. I see it and I go, wow, I'm Puerto Rican. I was counted out. My first grade, I didn't pass first grade twice because people said I was gonna, my principal got fired. My dad went over there, I got videotape of that still. You'll see the video soon, but I'm gonna get it from him. He got fired. We went to the head of the education department because they said I was stupid and I was never gonna be nothing in my life. And you know what? If I seen that principal now, I'd give a hug and thing, because if it wasn't for them doing that, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now. And it wasn't that I did it to prove them wrong, it was that I did it because I had to do it. But going back to what fulfills me the most is shift. I name my shop Shift, and the purpose for it really is shift is a change. You know, and I didn't spell it like shift in a car because I didn't want to think it's a mechanic shop. So I had to put my own little flavor and funk on it. But shift was changing the person in the chair while the person in the chair was changing me. I've learned crypto. I've learned what books to read. I've learned, and all because of my clients. Forget about education. Forget about everything else. The most important thing there is the client. Without the client, there's no stylist coming to your class. It's the beginning. It's the root of everything. It's the seed.
Correct.
You know, you want to be I feel like most of the people that ask, I want to do education and stuff. Are you booked up? Do you have clients? Is that something you can do? Because right now, if I had the opportunity to open up the door and somebody came up to me, I go, you want to be an educator? Let's go travel. Let's go be an educator. Can you leave your family? Can you not see your daughter for 3 weeks? Has it been 4 or 5 days and your wife is like, where you at? Blah, 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 blah. What are you doing? You can't pick up the phone. Like, it's a lot
of people
to
not
it.
built for
You know what I mean? It's not that they're not built for it. It's that they're going to lose. My first marriage went down to hell. You know, I'm in a great position. I'm not complaining. But my son's mother, I'm not with him. We have a great relationship now. She thought this wasn't going to work. She thought I was crazy. This wasn't going to happen for me. You're coming at the house. You need to get a job. Like, we can't pay our bills. My light is disconnected. I'm on tour with the leaders, sleeping in my car. But nobody knew that. I wasn't telling nobody that. I didn't have to tell nobody that. I did it. Why? Because I knew if I could help others and they could move up, I could move up with them. It was my position. But now having the position that I have, which is not the greatest, not where I want to be, but I keep reaching for it. Now I can go and I can tell the minority, the Puerto Rican, I can tell the American, I can tell the Afro-American, hey man, guess what? You don't have to come out just in a magazine. So, what was it? Solid Gold magazine. Now you can dream bigger. You can be on a trimmer.
So that's your happy moment.
That's my happy moment. That I can allow that opportunity for now. Now think about it. When my trimmer dropped now people can go, yo, we can be on a box, bro. Like, we can do this. That to me, like, if I would have seen somebody else do it, I would have been like, yo, I got another goal. Like, I can do this. Like, we can be on a clipper box. We can be on a product. And for me, in this industry, you know, I try to represent what it is. And we was talking about this earlier, right? Before everybody got here, of what it is, a barber. Like, there's a lot of that Hollywood stuff, you know? Like, and social media. Guys, remember one thing, man. Like, y todo el mundo aquí lo sabe. Los sociales es un mundo diferente a los mundos que, si tú ves a Edwin, si tú ves a Mo, si tú me ves a mí, or cualquiera, right? Or even you, Booms, like, you might work out in the morning. You're not posting that up.
Nah.
Don't mean you don't work out.
Oh yeah, I work out.
But here's it is.
I don't get this
The target moment is to build clientele.
Right.
It's like if you have a television show and it's lifestyle, they're not gonna put a BET show on it. It just doesn't fit.
Right.
So los sociales te enseñan lo que te quieren enseñar porque te quieren crecer. No te van a enseñar todo.
Mira, eso es un detalle que vivimos día a día. Las personas quieren vivir lo que viven los barberos. Ok, los barberos quieren vivir el barbero de redes sociales, pero están confundidos porque cuando llegan a sus barberías piensan que es el corte de cada walking tiene que ser $100. Y no es así.
No.
Hay que tener un proceso.
I think people disconnect. They have a disconnection.
But that's the new generation.
That's the new generation. They want to put hair fibers and color on every client, and then they want every client to be that VIP $100 client.
Exactly.
That's not the case. You have to build yourself up to that. Right now, I have a beautiful men's parlor, and the average haircut is $100.
But you
I
worked
I worked at it, but I was that $3 barber.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
You got a shop.
Right.
That's $100.
Right. But I also have a regular shop.
No. But yeah, you got it to cater. But what? Your shop, no kids.
No kids.
And not that Chico don't love kids.
I love kids.
He go right up the block, couple miles. I got the kid shop. Go ahead, take care of them. But you opened up a men's parlor.
Right.
Now, mind you, check this out. Right, $100 doesn't mean because you hear Chico right now talking about he's charging $100, you're gonna charge $100. Cause I seen Chico go from me to $100.
Right.
Chico, I mean, don't tell him how much your floors cost, right? Don't tell him how much your stations cost, right? Tell him how much your chairs cost. And now, let me ask you a question. That $100 service, is it just the haircut that you were doing 10 years ago?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Pero tú te educaste.
Right. But I will say this, though. The $100 client is not the client getting the fibers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting the colors. They're getting a comb over, scissor cut,
Number 2.
paper. You know what I mean? These are gentlemen that are paying this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cutting these rappers. I don't want the rappers. I don't want the celebrity. I want lawyers. I I want doctors. I want real estate agents. I got a plumber right now giving me $100, but it's because of my customer service and consistency. But I built for that. You know what I mean? I started $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $40,
20 years,
$60.
dude.
Now-
It's a 20 plus giving myself a raise. And
Now
building myself.
that build,
That's the experience.
that build, that raise, you didn't give it to yourself, right? Right? We was talking about this earlier, right?
Yeah.
Uno empieza, yo empecé a 7 pesos, right? Uno empieza a 7 pesos. This is how it works. Here's a secret, guys. Secret. You're booked. You have no time. Now, 12 pesos.
Exacto.
Look. Pero no, si voy para 12, pierdo. Pierde. You're making the same amount of money. Ahora 12. Ahora está booked. Now 20. Oh, me fueron mitad. Mismo chavo. Más tiempo. Now 25, 30. Y hace igual. But the clients give you a raise
Right.
because of a key word that you said there, and it's consistency.
Consistency. But you got to build relationships too. Like I was talking about this yesterday. Like, you know, if you don't build relationships, you know, creando esas relaciones con los clientes, no vale. It doesn't have the average lifespan of a client with a barber is 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
3 to 5 years. They fire you because you were late, you were smoking too many cigarettes, some whatever bullshit excuse. 3 to 5 years. But when you build a relationship with someone, that's what's going to give you that longevity. Those people are going to grow with you. And when you want to raise your prices, they're going to go ahead and be okay with it because they value you as a person, as their therapist, as their friend, as their ears, their consultant, their financial advisor. How many people have you guys told people about finances and stuff like that, right? So they appreciate and value. Once that's established, they build a relationship that lasts a lifetime. They'll follow you anywhere. It's the reason why you're able to move here. Out of all places you picked here, why? Doesn't matter, because you could pick anywhere because you knew that they were going to follow you because of the relationships you built.
But chicos, ahora hablamos de todos los momentos felices.
Sí.
Vamos a hablar de los momentos tristes.
Ay.
Bro, yo tuve 10 años de barbería en Puerto Rico. Trabajé toda mi vida desde el pellejo. Llegó un huracán y arrasó todo.
Wow.
Lose everything, bro. Me tenía que volver a comenzar de cero. No tenía empleado. Las personas que trabajaban conmigo me dijeron, I'm fine, so no regreso, estoy bien donde estoy. Me tocaba empezar de cero. Ahí fue que yo tomé la decisión de decir, yo quiero una nueva vida. Yo quiero experimentar algo nuevo, porque ya yo sé lo que hay en 10 años. Ahí fue que toqué Orlando, Florida. Me cambió la vida.
¿Y cuánto llevas aquí ya?
3 años.
3 años.
2 como dueño de barbería.
Wow. Y tiene una barbería bonita. Aquí estaba ahí hoy y está bonita. Y tú tienes un equipo ahí que le está metiendo duro. Nosotros estábamos ahí trabajando, haciendo un shoot de video y de fotos y eso. Y esos muchachos con las luces apagadas y todo, siguieron ahí dando hasta abajo con los recortes y dándole servicio al cliente y no estaban dando complaint. Ninguno estaba diciendo, no, préndeme la luz que no puedo ver ni nada.
Eso se llama educar al personal de trabajo.
Sí, mismo es.
Estos muchachos son unos muchachos bien obedientes, buenas personas, cambian vidas, motivados a lo mismo que hacemos nosotros día a día, que educamos y cambiamos vidas y damos lo mejor de nosotros.
Pero eso es porque tú eres un líder bueno, because leaders create leaders.
Sí.
Los líderes buenos crean
Es que
otros
la gente
líderes.
piensa que a veces tener una llave. Yo quiero ser dueño de un negocio y piensan que tener una llave pesa. Para tú poder tener una llave tienes que tener mucha consistencia, dedicación y sobre todo disciplina. Por eso uno como líder en un negocio, uno está mandado a educar a los que están al lado de uno. ¿Por qué? No solo por esto, sino ser usado para que otros sean inspirados. ¿Qué pasa? Ellos van a crecer, pero ¿qué se van a llevar de ti? La educación, la disciplina y sobre todo la limpieza, que es una de las cosas bien importantes.
Eso
Cualquier persona puede tener un negocio, pero no todo el mundo lo puede manejar. ¿Qué pasa? Llegó un momento en mi vida cuando yo empecé en Puerto Rico, para cambiar el tema un poquito, yo llegué a Greenville, Sur Carolina, con $38 en el bolsillo y me habían tiroteado. Me dispararon 38 disparos. Gracias al Señor, pues no me tocaron, pero eso fue una de las cosas que me cambió la vida. Y gracias a eso, ahora entiendo es porque Dios me salvó la vida. Y me salvó la vida para cambiar otras vidas.
Eso
Gracias a mí, gracias a la vida que Dios me dio nuevamente, que volví a nacer, yo puedo decir que salvé 2 generaciones, una por parte de mía y una por parte de mi exmujer. ¿Qué pasa? Cuando yo llego a esta ciudad, empiezo a trabajar con $38 en el bolsillo, tenía un cajito Lumenas, el techo me caía en la cabeza, no tenía retrovisor, los wipers era con las manos, era algo brutal. Yo empecé con ellos y una vez estoy durmiendo así, inclusive una anécdota, estaba durmiendo y el matre se me rompió y yo puse un pote de habichuela y lo puse ahí para que el aire no se saliera, ¿no? Una cosa brutal. Bueno, ¿qué pasa? Después de eso tuve una guerra bien fuerte porque mi esposa estaba en embarazo y tuve un accidente y me mataron un hijo. Wow. En el embarazo mi hijo falleció, estaba en la barriga, nació, lo llevaron al hospital, el doctor le dio días de vida, siguió viviendo por 3 meses, le inyectaron B12 anabólico, logró subsistir, pero un pulmón le estaba funcionando, otro no, y fue tanto lo que le inyectaron de antibiótico que le dio un hongo en la sangre y ahí perdió la vida. Pero en el proceso de que eso iba pasando, mi vida iba cambiando. Era el plan de Dios, no perder la vida una vez, sino que tenía que seguir luchando por lo que quería. Y ahora yo estoy viendo el fruto de ese plan de Dios que Dios tenía para mi vida.
So, ¿tú puedes decirlo hoy que eso fue uno de los momentos más tristes para ti?
Uno de los momentos más tristes para mí, sí. No, yo no
porque perdieron un hijo no es
mira,
fácil.
Mira, huérfano de padre, la familia en droga, ser tiroteado a punto de la muerte, porque una cosa es disparar, otra cosa es que te disparen. Y otra cosa, perder un hijo, yo creo que eso es algo, hecho en verdad que yo no deseo a nadie. Y eso es lo que a mí me inspiró a ser quien soy hoy. Mucha gente ve un personaje, pero nadie sabe lo que hay detrás del personaje. No. Y te voy a dar un detallito, algo que pues, de pronto no viene el tema, pero mira, es algo importante. Es como decir, muchos conocen la historia de Jesús, pero nadie conoce a Jesús, el de la historia. Son dos cosas bien diferentes y la gente te puede ver, pero detrás de ti hay una historia. Y muchos juzgan sin saber lo que tú has pasado. La gente dice, quiero ser como él, pero papi, para tú ser como él, no es fácil. Tienes que luchar, tienes que llorar. Porque nadie sabe que tú estás en una tarima como Frank, está haciendo un seminario, pero como él dice, su esposa está sola 3 días, los nenes te llaman, papi, quiero verte, ven para acá. Y todo el mundo, es fácil lo que tú ves en la pantalla, pero eso no es lo que tú crees que es. ¿Entiendes? Mira, es algo bien complicado porque mucha gente quiere y tiene, pero pocos disfrutan lo que tienen. ¿Entiendes?
That's deep. I want to touch on something real quick because I want you to answer this one in a few words. Happiest and saddest moment as a barber.
Happiest moment is realizing the life I'm able to provide for my family, which was just way more amazing than the life I lived. Even though I lived a great life with very little, I had the type of parents that make you feel, I wasn't missing anything as a child. So I grew up happy for the things I had. Right. But to be able to provide things I wish I had for my kids and see them enjoy it, that was the happiest moment, realizing that. For me, saddest moment in the profession that we have is just when you lose those clients that mean so much. Not to another barber, meaning when you find out like they lost their life somehow, some way. When you got a client, like you said, that when you finally get those clients that have been with you 10, 15 years and all they talk to you about is retirement, this, that, whatever, and they never get to see that retirement. Those moments hurt, because a lot of those guys and women, they be great people, and you genuinely from the heart be wanting to see them move on and enjoy the life of retirement that they worked all their life to achieve, and they don't make it. You know what I'm saying? Or the young guys that have so much talent. Like for me, quick story, we had a kid. He wasn't my client, but his dad was. But the kid would go to whoever else in the barbershop, and the kid been coming to us since he was like, I'm talking about in diapers. And when he was 14 years old, he drowned. And he was like aspiring basketball player, amazing football player. He was already coming out in newspapers in Miami, and he drowned, just going for a swim with his friends. Stories like that are the saddest moments in what we do.
Now, Mo, I know the answer to this because I've talked to you about all types of stuff. We traveled all over, before this pandemic. You were my wingman, you know what I mean? My road buddy,
Rolda teammates.
My teammates, and we were going everywhere. They were shipping me and Mo over here, over there. Are you able to enjoy the fruits of your labor? Because like Jairo said, there's like many people that aren't able to, enjoy it. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the journey? Are you enjoying your life right now? Are you enjoying your family? Can you say right now that you're truly happy?
Absolutely. I make sure that I find the time to enjoy myself. I make sure that I find the time. Like, my schedule is catered so that my family is not without me. You know, that's why my schedule is Tuesday to Friday, 4 a.m. to 6 p.m.
You work 4 a.m. to 6 p.m.
4 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh my God.
Now you one of the very few people, you know, 'cause I get up early and I know that if I need to call anybody's gonna answer the phone is gonna be you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're up
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
4 a.m. to 6 p.m. What kind of dedication is that? Like, tell me a little bit about that. What's your?
That didn't just happen. Like everybody else, man, I had my 6, sometimes even 7-day schedules. But as my life started changing and as I started adding, you know, little people to my life, you know, those people needed me in their life.
Right.
So, you know, at the beginning it was cool working them long hours because you know you're making all this money to provide them a good life. But then when that child is doing things and they need you to be there, you know, they start playing sports, they start doing dance, they start doing all these things, and you're like, I can't miss those moments. So what I started doing is I started chopping off of the weekend and adding on to the weekday. And once that got full, I didn't want to work later because I've never really been a fan of staying in a barbershop after dark. But I didn't mind coming in early.
Right.
You know, I was an early bird. Most shops that I work at opened at 9. By 5 a.m. I was up watching TV. So I was like, if I'm up watching TV, I could get up and cut hair.
I remember one time we were, I don't know where, because I can't keep track of it, but I remember it was either you caught a flight right after like a 3-day event or you got on the road. You figured it out because you had to catch your daughter's track meet or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what for what, but I said, Mo, you leaving? And you said, yeah, and it was already late.
Yeah.
You hit that road like nothing, like a champ.
Yeah,
you said,
yeah.
I'm not going to miss my daughter's track.
We were actually here in Orlando. It was for Orlando premiere.
Okay.
We were here for Orlando premiere, and we went to dinner, and at 11 o'clock I hit the road.
Right, and I said, Mo, that's like a 4-hour, 5-hour
And we had been at the show all day.
All day. My
All
feet
day.
were blistering.
Yeah.
Like that was the last day of the show.
Yeah.
So, you know, Frank, you beat up after that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right.
So
Hey.
it's like you up on your feet all day and you doing models and you know what I mean? You're working harder on that stage than you are behind in the shop. You know what I mean? So you jumped on the road and I was like, come on, Mo, hang out. Like stay, bro. Don't leave yet. You're like, I got to go.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
how is that? Like,
You know, it's the sacrifices that they don't see, you know what I'm saying? The sacrifices that we don't talk about because there is no gratitude for that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you do that from the heart, when you love your kids, when you love your family, and you're willing to sacrifice for them like that, I don't need nobody to tell me, hey, great job. You know what I'm saying? I did that for me. I did that for when I pulled up to the house and I woke up that morning. All that fatigue and everything went away when I was the one who woke my daughter up and like, hey baby, get ready for track. And she was like, I didn't know you were home. You know what I'm saying? That when she said that, like all the fatigue, all that went away. And you know, I got to go out there. It was also a big meet too. It was my daughter's first meet as she wasn't a middle schooler, but she had the talent to run with middle schoolers. And I got to go and watch my daughter win 2 gold medals, man. So
beautiful.
You know, I wasn't gonna miss that for the world, you know.
Beautiful. It's crazy to see her like be able to share these stories with you and then like actually watching her grow up from a distance.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And every time, you know, you show me a picture, she's just a little bit taller.
She's taller than me now.
You know what I mean?
She's almost 5'7" now, so imagine.
That's a beautiful thing. And then even you, Frank, like I walked in here, I didn't know that was little Frank back there. And then I'm like, you know, who is this? And you're like, that's my son. And I'm like, whoa, that's little Frank? Like I remember when he was a little kid. Yeah. You know what I mean? And now he's a big kid. Like he has hairy legs, man. Like he had, you know what I mean?
He went from being in my videos to shooting my videos.
So he's a video man now.
Yeah, that's my guy.
So he's the one behind the magic.
He's the one behind the
magic. Because you got some dope videos, man.
That's him, man.
And I see you doing the Rolda thing now.